Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. You can see in the last part 3, I got the 2110 that I originally got with the thing. We freshened it up, stuff like that. But today, I'm going to end up putting the motor into the thing. So I got to take some stuff off. I think I got to take off both of the carburetors and stuff like that. But we're going to end up putting the thing back in. We're going to get the accelerator cable, get that sync link system hooked up. If you guys haven't never seen one of those, it's a really awesome system. So stay tuned to catch up on that. Really cool system. I'm going to hook up some of the electrical, fuel lines, and the exhaust and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is to try to get in and try to get this thing cranked actually in the thing, and maybe actually get a test drive in. Probably not today, but one step closer and we're going to get there. I appreciate you guys for sticking along. If you can, please like and subscribe, and let's get this motor in. All right, here we are. I got the engine almost ready. I got the thing jacked up a little bit. I took the exhaust off of it, and I left that front tin that goes across here. The only thing I got to do now is I got to take the carburetors off because it's just too tight in there. Trust me, I've already tried it. It won't work. But I'm going to try to take the carburetors off, and because I have them linked together with that sync link, I'm going to throw a towel over my thing, and I'm going to try to lay the carburetors right here. Technically, I think I only need to take off one of them, and I'm going to elect this guy just because it's super easy and there's less stuff on this side than that side. So I'm going to try to do that. So let's take this one carburetor off and lay it right here on a towel to not scratch anything up, and see if I can get it in without taking that carburetor off. Just make it a little bit easier on me. So let's see what happens. Get some paper towels and shove down there just to make sure nothing falls down in there, and I think that'll work. There.
Nice.
It's so strong nowadays.
Yes.
Well, scratch that. I'm gonna have to take carburetor off. Now it should be easier. In 30. I can't remember. One time I think I did the engine like this and went up in there and did it, and then I think one time I did it with the engine pushed back and when I did it, and I think that's the way I have to do it. But round 2. I think that's it. It's in. Whew. Okay. Now I'm just going to put the bolts in and stuff like that. Mount the engine to the transmission, and that'll be it. So. Now it's time to put everything back together. I think the first thing is I'm gonna hook the carburetor back up. And then I gotta deal with this throttle cable. This is part of the SyncLink throttle cable system I got. So once I put the carburetor back in, I'll get that link that goes between the two carburetors put back in, and then I have to cut this one. I have to be careful, there's a cable inside there, so I'm probably gonna pull the cable back out and then cut it to length wherever it is here, and then I'll push the cable back through, and then I'll officially link it up at that point. So yeah, let's get the carburetor back on it. And we just got to put the sync link back in there. It links between these two arms. So good thing about the sync link, once you make this cable like so your setup, you can take this off and you don't have to reset it. So that's one nice thing about it. I don't know if y'all can see this, but when I turn this one, it goes over and touches that pulley. And that is it. And I gotta hook this one. There's a cable that comes like your traditional throttle cable. There's a little grommet metal CNC aluminum piece. That's where your throttle cable only comes out and goes right here to a single carburetor. But this little hose right here, I link it over and I go to this little bracket over here. Let me get here. So see, here's the carburetor, and from here it goes and it links over to this one. And you cut these custom whatever you want, and then the brackets that come with these, the sync link, these little metal brackets, they're custom made for whichever kind of carburetor you have. And then you put the little pulley system on there, and this right here you can actually fine tune right here. And I've never done dual carburetors, I've never done the link cables and all that stuff between them, but this was so easy and such a fine tune adjustment that it's awesome. Like I said, I had another link system on there that had all the different rods and stuff that you push across, and it mounted a bar across here, and it has two bars, and it rips down. I don't know, it was just a lot of linkage in there, and if it doesn't be perfect, whatever, but right here I can do this. I can fine tune it, and when I turn this sucker right here, when I pull it, I mean that cable, that one over here, I mean it pulls perfect. I mean just even the littlest little portion, it messes with it. It is so smooth. So like I said, here's the throttle cable that limit comes out. So I got the cable in here, so I got to link the cable up to here, and then what it'll do, the cable will go in here, and then it'll pull, when I hit the gas, it'll pull this way, and at the same time it's open this carburetor, it's pulling this cable right here, it's pulling it that way, and it's pulling this cable, and then it'll open that carburetor up. It's really nice setup. I'm really glad I came across it. But no, I just need to make this cable. Let's make that cable real quick, put it on there, and see, go from there, and then I'll test the throttle on it, I think. Getting closer, one step closer. So I got this link right here, so I need to take this off. Put it through here. Right now I'm just going to hand tighten this. There's a nut here and a nut here, and you can just, once the cable goes in here, you can adjust this completely, this portion right here, this way, and this will fine tune your cable, which eventually will go on this little pulley here. But you can fine tune it perfectly like that. So I'm just going to key it on there hand tight right now, and then I'm just going to get that cable, this cable over here, and then push it into here. There's a little sleeve that goes on the end of that cable, and then it'll just pop in there like that. So let me get that cable up over here. Let me get my cutters. Make sure it's good over here, and yeah, I'm making sure that it's linking. The throttle cables, you can't really see it right here. Right here is where it's coming out of the firewall. It comes out, and I got it looped around, swooped. And you just want it to be like a nice, real graceful corner there, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to go with that right there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is I got to put the end on there. Push right there, and I'm going to go push the throttle cable back in up front over the pedal, and then it should shoot out here. And yeah. Alright, well, here we are. I finally got this cable linked up. Yeah, it was kind of a pain because it was catching up in the middle. There's a joint behind the engine where the cable, it was getting stuck because the cable's a little frayed. But anyways, I got it now. So this is that cable I did. See, it smooths in here, and then it goes right into the number part. So it's real nice here. I got the fuel line hooked up. I got this wire right here. This is actually a wire for my fans to kick on. Because it needs an ignition wire, so I'm just going to piggyback off that wire right there. It's just something for a relay that I hooked up for the fans. Because I have a right here. You see, I have it. This engine's pipe for a external oil cooler, and then that's what this is. These two hoses are going to go down here, and then they're going to go up in here. I don't know if you can see it up in there. It's probably too dark. Let me see. So it's going to go up underneath my engine, and then right up there I have an oil cooler. That black thing right there, you can kind of maybe see it right there where that red wire goes across. There's an oil cooler right there, and there's a fan that sits on top right up there. Anyways, so I got the oil cooler that sits behind the engine above the transmission. That's going to, and it's one of those, it's got a sensor on it, a thermostat, so when it gets a certain temperature, it'll kick that fan on that's on top of it. And then I also have the two fans on the side. I got a fan here and a fan here. And I'm going to have those manually hooked up. So in the dash up there, I'm going to have a little switch. Like in the summertime, I can just flip them on. And one of the reasons, well, first of all, I'm not the one that actually designed to put those fans there. The guy I bought this from designed the fans. And one of the reasons he cut all this portion out is you can put fans on the side. Now this is a 73, so technically there's supposed to be like vents right here. But I actually, this is going to be a non-purist thing. I'm actually going to put the 74. They're like side, they're almost like saddlebags that go down the side, and they have vents on the top. But anyways, what this is going to do is it's going to put a lot of positive pressure in this compartment. And then one of the reasons why I definitely need positive pressure in here is because Volkswagens, you bring the cold air and the hot gets pushed out the back and then goes out the, the back of the car. Well, the problem is this thing has a body lift on it. So you'll notice the engine, it's lower than what it normally is. Normally this portion right here is closer, like real close to the top. So that's the difference. Well, what does that mean? It means that these, the seal that goes around here, I don't have the metal plate in there yet, but the seal that goes around this portion right here, it's not going to seal properly. And then on top of it, I didn't do this. I kind of trimmed it up, made it look a little better, but they cut it out for the dual carbs. So what that means is a lot of pressure, air is going to try to come in here, and it's going to want to recycle. And that's like a bet. You don't want that on your Volkswagen for sure. So I'm hoping between the oil cooler cooling the engine down, the oil itself, and then having positive pressure from the left and the right, really putting pressure on it and hopefully pushing air out and then out the bottom and not letting that hot air come back in. That's the theory behind it. I guess we're going to find out when I crank the thing up. But I'm getting real close. I got the fuel. I got to hook up the electrical. This engine actually came with a generator, which is kind of like an old school whatever. Most people will convert it to alternator. If I have any issues with it, I will convert it to an alternator, an alternator. But the generators, they work fine. I've never had any issues out of them, so we're gonna roll with it until you can't roll with it no more. So that's my theory on it. But I need to hook up all the regulator and stuff like that. It normally mounted up over here, and it comes over here and it hooks up to the generator, stuff like that. But I think the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put the exhaust on it. So I'm going to hook the exhaust up and see where it is, and then I'm going to route those hoses because I'm not sure exactly where the exhaust is going to be. And so I'm going to put the exhaust on first and then route the oil cooler lines and make sure they're out of the way. And if I got to buy like some heat shrink or heat shield or something, anything like that, then that's what I'm going to do. So let's throw the exhaust on it and see how much a pain in the butt that's going to be. But let's go with that. So now I just need to put all these bolts back in there. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the day. That was my big goal today, to get the engine in. So I was good to get the engine in. I got the fuel hooked up, I got the exhaust put on it, I got a little bit for the charging on the generator, stuff like that. But I can't crank it yet. One of my biggest problems with the cranking is I took the entire steering column out of the car. The rod sealer, I can still steer it, but all the ignition and stuff like that I need to actually, test the wires and hook up to, be able to actually crank it is out of the car. But I have brand new wiper blades and turn signals, all the levers and stuff like that off your steering wheel. I have all that, and I have a brand new steering wheel that I'm going to put onto it. So I'm really excited to get that going. That's going to be for the next part, but I do appreciate you guys sticking along today. If you can, please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you.